we create a simple application where you can manage your assignments within the folder. Okay, how you manage your assignments within the folder? So I prepare a simplest Node.js application where we perform the one HTML which will show in a browser. There is option like a which subject, and you can upload your file. So file upload and subject name, two things we get from the form. Once you submit, so that file will be stored within your directory with that specific subject name. So that is possible with the Node.js, but the HTML part, front end part is very less, but we want to design the HTML because we want to get the inputs from the browser HTML side. Otherwise, we want to make the API. But right now we are making something simplest applications to upload your assignments, upload your documents in specific directory. આવું એક application બનાવીએ છીએ. So first I create a project, right? init-y. So my project is created. There is something for the assignments, or I can say document manager. Shall I say this? Okay. Now, which command will make me to run this project easy? So that is one command, node start, npm start node index.js. I will make one file, that is index.js, which will be my main file. So I prepare index.js. Now in index.js, I supposed to write something which I really wants to do something Node.js program. But before this, I want to make something as a HTML file where you get the data. Okay. So where you put Node.js HTML file, majority Node.js is working for the backend, but somewhat we need a front end. So I prepare a folder public. Okay. In a public, there is a file index.html. I prepare a simplest HTML file. Now everybody knows how to write the HTML. I want two inputs. One is file, another one is which folder I want to store this file. So I prepare simplest HTML, right? So there is no suggestion, so I have to write everything. Is it? In a body, what should I have to do? Like I have to prepare one h1 tag where I can write document manager. Simple. Now here I put one form tag. So form is for making my task easy for file uploading. So this is form. Now within the form, there is action where I want to submit my data. Second, there is a method. Which method makes me to file uploading? So method is post. Another one, encryption type, अथवा तो જ્યારે આપણે when we upload the file, which type of int type required. So I just write int type is multi-part form data because I want to upload the file. So my form has started and it is over. Action right now I supposed to say that is upload, because I need to retrieve that data in a upload kind of a route which I prepare in a Node.js file. So whatever data will move, that will move on upload routes. So first I prepare the form. What type of input we require? One input for the subject name. So I give the label. The label is what? Subject name, or subject name is fine. Subject name or category. Is it fine? આ બેમાંથી એક કયા ટાઈપનું ડોક્યુમેન્ટ છે અથવા તો કયા સબ્જેક્ટનું ડોક્યુમેન્ટ છે. So I supposed to use input tag, input type equals to text, that is name equals to subject, then placeholder if you want to give. So I can write something like, for example, Node.js assignment I want to store. So I prepare the Node.js. Or if it is document, so I said office. right? So it may anything. Now this is required because whenever I'm putting the file, it should be goes in a folder. That's why I made it required. So this is client side required. Now I give to br something. Line break. Then another label. Label for what? File upload. So I said file. I said file. Now within the file, or we can say document or assignment file. So I need to give the input again. Which type of input? Input file, right? So type equals to file. What is my specific file name is, like I said, assignment. It may anything. I said assignment. So this is my input for the both things done. Now another button is required for submit purpose, right? So I said button, and button type is what? Submit. That's it. Now this has done. અહીંયા પણ BR આપી દે. Now this is what HTML has done, which I put in a public directory, but it is not enough to run this. Okay, so how we run this HTML? So we need a code for Node.js. So what I need to do for this public directory access? So now I write a code. પેલા એ સમજવું જરૂરી છે કે હું આ ઇન્ડેક્સ ફાઇલને કોલ કેવી રીતે કરાવું. તો એના માટે મારે જરૂરી છે એટલી વસ્તુ લખવી પડશે, right? So first I want to make this Node.js application web application. So one library is required, that is part of second unit, but right now I give the example. So I introduce, that is Express. Okay, so Express help us to make our HTML run in a web application mode, or whenever you are making your Node.js as a server application, API or anything. So we need library, that is Express. Now one thing, you are doing the module import export, right? So right now my type is CommonJS. So what I need to use? Require or import? Require. So I want to use import. So what should I write? Module. So I write module. Which library I want to use? So I want to use Express. So I write npm install Express. This library I want to use in my application. So first I need to install that library, then I can use it. So first I give the Express. Once Express is installed, then I can use it, right? તો તમે જે અત્યારે મોડ્યુલ બનાવો છો તો એ મોડ્યુલ તમારા બનાવેલા છે. So you can import it. But right now I am using third party. So I need to import this. So I need to import. So I need the internet. So once I do the internet login, then it will be done. It is done. Now I can use this Express library. So what to write? Import. There is Express, right? From Express. It's done. Import Express from Express, right? Once your Express is done, you need to create that instance. તો હું Express નો object બનાવ્યો, class મળ્યો, પછી એનો object હું બનાવું છું app કરીને, right? So I can write const app equals to Express, and my application will run in which port? So I specify port number as well. So my port number is IP address and colon port number. Laravel માં બી આપણે કરતા 8000. Very similarly, it will work whatever you give the port. So right now I set the 3000. So 3000. And I make this listening mode, right? So my server will be run. There is nothing which will be open, but right now my server is running. Shall I check now? So I just check npm start. Okay. So npm start is connecting what? Index.js connecting with this IPN port. So I just open to check my application for the Node.js is running. It is running, but there is no route. કઈ તમે સ્લેશ માં રાખ્યું જ નથી. એપ રન છે. માની લો કે એપ રન ન હોત તો શું આવત? જુઓ જી. Nothing, right? But when you start this, so your server is running, your app is running, but route is not defined. Now I want to set this route for my public HTML. So how could I make this possible? So I just supposed to use app.use. Okay, app.use. Within use, if I want to run my HTML file, so I need to write express dot static public. So when you are making your PHP application or any application, web applications, you have a public directory. In public directory, there is an index file. Now my public directory is running. How could I check this? So whatever changes you are doing, that will not reflect directly. So we need to run again, right? So once I run this, now I open refresh. My file is running. File dekhai chhe, right? So my file is running. I do one thing, changes, that is title. Is it fine? It will reflect. Index file is reflect, but node file is not reflect because it need to be again compilable. Now we have to write other things. અત્યારે આપણે શું કર્યું? We have prepared index.html and that will run in a browser. That is make sense of how I can run index file within the Node.js. That is enough. Now we need to upload the file. So for the uploading, we need another library. So in a Node.js, when you upload the file, so there is a Multer, right? Multer is one of the standard library which help us to upload the files within the Node.js. So I use another library, that is npm install Multer, right? So multer. Once Multer is installed, so what to do again? What to do? Import Multer, right? Now Multer help us to upload the file, but Multer will not manage the files within the folder or system, right? So what we need, yesterday I gave the overview of file system, right? So what I need to import? File system, that is fs from fs. That is fine. So these are the library. Express make my applications web application. Multer make my applications to upload enable. Fs make my system file system, right? And another library which I really require, that is path. Path for what? For directory path, or we can say directory whatever we can say as a source, right? So we need another library, that is path, not path. Okay, so that is path. Now sorry, path bhulai jaise. Now whatever the data will comes, okay, so I need to manage that path. That path will be specific, right? So I create one variable, or we can say one URL as well. So I supposed to install file URL to path. So URL will be using that file path. So I specify import file URL to path. Okay. Now another two things I need. One is URL with that file name, and file name will be saved with that directory. So this is my two variable I need, that is a global variable for this application. So one variable is your file name, another variable for that directory name. Two things I require to store my file within the folder, and whatever file comes I need to store in that folder. So this is done for the library and global variable. Now I use, how could I upload the file? So what I have written here, upload. So shall I write something for the upload, and then I can make this upload easy, right? So how could I make this possible? So I need to prepare one route, which is route type is what? અહીંયા શું છે? Post. So when I post that data, it will use that file type, file name, everything, and then it will be upload. So what I need to do, I need to do something for that route. So I write app. This is my app object, app dot post. Sorry, આ લાઈન ઉપર આવશે, app dot post, and my post will be what? That is URL upload, right? I am using Multer upload single file. This is something which is given suggestions, but I am using my own function. Here they use multer.single file or something directly here, but I am using my own function. So right now I am using my own function but didn't write here. So first I need to prepare something for file upload as a function. So first I prepare that file uploading function, then I call in that route. So how could I prepare that file upload function? Because I need to store my file within the directory. That's why I need that function. Otherwise I can directly use multer.single file upload or something, right? So how we can make this possible? So I prepare one function where I write something code like yesterday I said, if your directory is exists, then it will not create a new directory. If your directory is not created, then we create the directory. So how could make this possible? So we need to write some lines. So first I prepare my function. Function name is what? Storage. What I make? Function name is storage. What I write in a storage, there is my library name is what? Upar jo line number 2, there is a multer. So I use multer dot disk storage. What I need to write within disk storage, that is something which is need to do the coding based on our requirement. So first I do within this, that is my destination. So I write destination colon. What is my destination? Function where I write, that is request, which comes from HTML. Second one is file, which file we have uploaded, and third one is right my data, whatever. Now within that function what I need to write? So first I need to write const, that is my subject, which I have written in HTML index, right? So request dot body. Are you remembering Laravel? Request dot, right? Request dot, then we write our variable name. So here request dot body, then subject. What we have written as a subject or something? Subject is fine. Name is what? Subject. So I write subject, right? So first parameter comes in a subject. I use trim. Trim function used for if any space comes, so that will reduce the space or anything, right? So first thing has done. I receive my subject name. Second, what path I need to store? So that subject name will create a directory, then in that directory I upload the file. So what I need to create? The directory. So I use const, then upload path equals to path dot join my directory name. In a directory name, suppose to I use word assignment or upload, whatever you give the name, and then subject. So what does happen? When you upload the file, so assignment folder will create, where it will create in a root directory. Within that assignment, what will done? Whatever you have written in a text box, that folder also created. So in assignment, your Node.js will create, and in that folder we have to upload the file. So this two line is created for the directory. Now after creating directory, I write if condition. What if condition does? If directory is not exist, then I write something, and if it is exist, then I don't then I want to upload the file. So I write if file path is not exist, then what I need to do? I need to create that folder. So I write if upload path is not created, then fs make directory sync upload path recursive true, then it is done and I complete the condition. આ કોડ સમજાય છે? મેં શેના માટે કર્યો? જો ડિરેક્ટરી ન હોય તો શું થશે? Create a new directory. If it is created, then I don't want to go in this if condition. So this is my condition. I have completed this. Now what I need to do? Now I need to do, that is yes, cb null upload path. So this is something, if the parameter comes null, then what does happen, right? So in this way I have prepared. Second thing, I need to write that file name which I have to upload. So what file name will comes? So in a file name, there is a function very similarly, right? ફાઇલ નું નામ શું આપશું? અપલોડ કરવા જઈએ ત્યારે ફાઇલ નું નેમ શું આપશું? So I need to prepare the file name. So I prepare anything, but I give the unique name. So I use date function. Date dot now. In a date now, then file original name and its extension. I just complete this file name. Still I have to complete. Okay. Once I need to check the whole braces has done or not, right? Still something is missing. Once it is done, then we upload the file. This is fine. Okay. Now once again I revise. This is for the file storage function. Within that file storage, what I am doing, make destination path clear. If it is created, then we don't want to create the directory. If it is not created, then we have to create the folder. Within that folder, what should I write my file name? So file name should be a date plus my original file name with extension. So that is my code for uploading file. Now I used that code within that route. So how could I make this upload? So here in a upload route, I need to write that make my storage with Multer. મારે Multer ને use કરીને upload કરાવવું પડશે, right? તો instance માં આ line એક રહી ગઈ હતી. Then it will work with the upload.single. So now it is done. Let's start. So project is running. Now I try to upload the file. Here in a browser I open this. What even changing? Just a minute. Assignment. કઈ ભૂલ દેખાણી? Right? My name is something different. Okay. Once again, right? Refresh. Not this way. Refresh. Node.js. File upload. Submit. It is submit successfully. Right? Now I need to check in a folder. What is my folder name? Assignment. Within assignment, Node.js. In a Node.js, is there my file name? Is it? Okay. If I want to upload another file, it will work or not? Thai ke no thai? Again, same directory, upload. I change the directory. For example, which another subject? Python. I supposed to use Python. Submit. Is it created? Right? So in this way, we prepare the file uploading code, and here is the whole code. Okay. You try it once and make this possible, because it is not that much difficult. But line by line